Hello everybody, this is Mary Elizabeth. I'm cold, exasperated, and tired, and this is your what's the fucking deal reading. I mean, have you ever had one of those days, weeks, months, years, years, where you're like, what's the fucking deal? Why am I doing everything I'm supposed to be doing, but nothing is happening? It's like I haven't pulled a secret window yet. If you know, you know, the Johnny Depp version. Um, I'm, doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing. I mean, it's just that it's just sometimes you feel like no matter what you do, there's always this one step forward and 10 steps back kind of energy around you. So this is like, what's the fucking deal? So we have 1, 2, 3. And yes, we'll be doing the tea leaf, but we'll also be doing an assortment of other cards that are around me. So 1, 2, 3. I was drawn to 3 right off the bat. I don't know what's underneath these cards. I try never to look at them. So I'm going with 3. So we're going to start with 1 though. And so 1, here's the fucking deal. I mean, let's go. All right, if you've chosen number 1, this is the fucking deal. Dog barking. You're getting advice from a friend. Now, there's no coincidence here that I'm doing this reading and you're listening to it. So maybe this is the advice that you need. It's very hard to take advice from people. I know, it's very hard to take that. People go, well, there's some people who just can't deal with criticism and who see all advice as criticism. And it's very difficult to deal with the criticism from your friends, much less a stranger. And criticism is very, very difficult when we feel that we have gone completely out of our way to do whatever we're supposed to do right, when people on the outside are looking in or looking at it from a completely different perspective. So there is advice from a friend here. Number 1, the fucking deal is that perhaps you maybe should listen a little bit more and be a little bit more open to not just conversation, but your community. Sometimes people on the outside who kind of look at your situation, sometimes people on the outside looking in get a more perspective out of it than people who are in the situation, right? And we can go back and forth with our significant other, our mother, our father, our daughter, our son, our grandma, grandpa, whoever. We can go back and forth with them on all of that. But to get the perspective of someone looking on the outside in can be beneficial as well, because maybe they're seeing something that you're not, because you're in the thick of it and they're not. So we have the community here, and the community is all about, I love this energy. I love this divine feminine energy. The pomegranate is sensual, right? And then we have the music playing and everybody's draped in white, and we have the pillars, stability, balance, strength. We have this beautiful foundation set. We have all of this greenery, this growth, this it's just this beautiful scene. So what may be missing is a communal bond with someone who you trust, right? It's very hard to find that in a friend. I have one. I have one friend who I have such a bond with that I feel no matter what I told, she's pretty much my ride or die. So and as women, it's very hard to do that. For some women, it's very hard to do that because we have been taught for a long time to that other women are our competition, right? So it's very difficult to put our faith, I guess, in the hands of another female. But sometimes you need that perspective from someone who really gets you, understands you, knows you, and trusts you. So perhaps that advice from a friend comes from someone who you're being guided to really get to know out in your community, someone who could be that ride or die, someone who could be that beneficial friend. So let's see what our tarot cards say. All right, here we go. Ooh, a tower moment. I love tower moments. All right, then we have the 9 of Cups. Okay, so I love tower moments because so we're talking about the advice from the friend in the community, right? I believe that by going out into the community and finding your tribe, you're going to recognize that all of the work that you've been putting in on something is has, I don't want to say has been wasted, but the foundation for whatever this is was never really there. And the more we exert ourselves in trying to build something up from a foundation that isn't really there, nothing comes of it, right? Just our spent energy and our spent emotion and our spent time. So with that Nine of Cups energy saying, you got to let go of the shit that you can't control. You got to let go of it emotionally. You can't continue to build something with hopes that that something will continue, will work, when all you're doing is just stacking bricks on a pile of bricks, right? So that Tower moment is to say, hey, there are some things in your life that you may be giving too much to that isn't really succeeding or getting you anywhere. It's really not beneficial to you, not in an emotional way and not in a financial way either. And I believe that what this is also saying is that the moment you release any emotion that you have to this relationship, situationship, partnership, business, the moment that you stop putting any type of emotion into trying to build this thing that is pretty much non-existent, you will find that your life shifts in a completely different direction. You will find that you become more wise, you become more abundant, you become more prosperous. You start to turn all of that love and all of that building towards yourself, and you start working on yourself and believing in yourself, and you start finding things that work for you, and those things then bring in the abundance and the prosperity that you have been looking for, right? This Queen of Pentacles, Pentacles is about your everyday life, right? It's about your house and your job and your money and all of those wonderful things that we rely on every day. And this queen, she has learned many lessons throughout her life. And I believe the many lessons that she has learned and that she will soon figure out if you haven't learned them is that you give yourself emotionally too much to things that don't fucking matter. And you use all of that to kind of build up this thing into it being more than it is. You remember what I talked about earlier from the outside looking in? So it is time to start working on yourself. It is time to start putting all of that energy back where that energy belongs. Perhaps it's back into your family. Perhaps it's back into creating a successful family foundation. Perhaps it's back into your community. Perhaps it's back into, and this came to mind, this just jumped in my head. Perhaps prior to a relationship in your life, you had this wonderful community with friends and women who were your ride or dies, but you got into a situation to where someone was a little bit more demanding and a little bit more controlling, and you tried to give and give and give and give and give and give and give to that relationship or partnership or situationship to where you pushed everybody else away and they became the main focus. And so now here we are with all of this beautiful divine feminine energy, and spirit is saying what you were giving, all of that energy that you were giving into that particular thing was pointless, because that thing was never meant to work in the first place, you know? So that's the fucking deal. So we have the sun and the stars. This is about putting your wishes out there and using your intuition to guide you toward what your passion is and allowing yourself to be at peace with that passion. And we have envision and imagine. So she is looking at the heavens, looking at the skies, looking at the stars, going, this is the way I desire my life to be. And the envision and imagine card comes out, and pretty much spirit is saying if you can envision it, you can imagine it, but you first have to let go of that energy of this is what I have to put into this in order for it to succeed, because it's not succeeding. It was never meant to, and that is the lesson that you need to learn. So we have 444, and 444 is protection. This is the time to take confidence in all that you pursue. The divine universe is working through you and protecting you. Time has come to allow all the doors of opportunity to welcome you with open arms. Your affirmation for this reading is, I feel the loving care of the divine protecting me, and I allow myself to pursue growth and opportunity. And that's the fucking deal. Know that you're divinely guided and loved. Bye. All right, if you've chosen card number 2, this is the fucking deal. What is it? The fucking deal is kangaroo. There's unsettled times and there's this need to plan ahead. It's very difficult for people to... Here's the thing about planning ahead. I had a conversation with somebody about this today, and it says unsettled times and they need to plan ahead. But if you're planning ahead, who's to say that all the energy that you put into planning ahead is going to come out the way you thought it would, right? And so what I feel, if there's unsettled times at the moment, let's look at the unsettled times. Let's look at the right here and now, because what did somebody say once? Tomorrow is never a guarantee. So if we're extending all of this energy to plan for, months or years from now, is it really valuable to our time? Can we put that time into all of that energy dealing with the right here, right now, this unsettled time, right here, right now? Let's see what it is. Let's look at it from a different perspective. Let's evaluate or reevaluate and see what we can do to fix this energy, instead of creating more stress by planning ahead and not knowing if the plans that we made are going to be valid by the time we get to where the fuck we're going. So that's the fucking deal. So let's look at the energy oracle, shall we? All right, energy oracle. All right, the thinking woman. So you understand what I'm saying. You get it. There's a transformation here, and there is an ascension to something better, and there is growth here. And the thinking woman is using her wisdom, right? This is all about using your wisdom to create a foundation of transformation, of ascension, and of growth, right? And we do all of that in the present moment. We go through the transformation in the present moment. We ascend to a higher level of knowledge in the present moment. We're growing in the present moment. We are evaluating and reevaluating in the present moment. We are allowing ourselves to see what the problem is in the present moment and how we can alleviate some of the stress and some of the problems in the present moment. The whole planning ahead thing. If that's your thing, then that's your thing. You know what I'm saying? And we also have the baby looking out of the pouch. And I kind of feel that this is a little bit about protection too. Protecting yourself in the present moment. So if you are planning for the future, and again, there are no guarantees, but I suppose that the more you protect yourself, the more you put up the boundaries that need to be put up, the more you stay focused on that certain outcome, I guess the more potential you have of everything, kind of leading on that path without any misdirection or any roundabouts or detours, is what I'm trying to say. So let us see what the tarot cards say. All right, so, I love that. Look at all of that. Look at all this great stuff you have going on. The Seven of Pentacles, the Star, and the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles is that everyday life, right? That I don't remember how I had it. The Ten of Pentacles, or the Pentacles, is your everyday life. It's the money, the car, the job, the finances. It's all of that. So the Seven of Pentacles is you really nurturing, right? Nurturing what you have created, nurturing how you desire to succeed, nurturing not just what you've created, but the seeds you've planted, and nurturing how that grows. And I was telling this to somebody today. I was talking about this, that when we plant a seed, we just don't throw it in the ground and hope for the best, right? We go and we nurture it, and we give it everything it needs to set those roots, and for those roots to expand, and for the bounty to come up, and for it to really grow. And we try to protect it from critters and disease and worms, and we try to, and it's just like when the seed is planted within us, and we have when we are giving when we are creating that life within us, we do everything that we can to make sure we are healthy, because the life growing inside of us is healthy. We just don't, we put a lot of ourselves into what we are growing and what we are creating. And with that Ten of Pentacles energy, you are creating a life of substance. You're creating a life of passion. You're creating a life of loyalty, of playfulness, of growth, of balance and stability and independence. You're creating a life of strength and courage. I mean, this is a beautiful bounty. This is dreams coming true. The star represents the balance, but represents also the understanding and the knowledge that in order to have all of this success, that there must be something there. You must let something go, right? It's that as above, so below. It's that if in order to achieve this, I must release this. In order to achieve greatness, I must release the thought or the energy that I am not worth the greatness I am trying to receive, right? It's kind of like that. So I think with the thinking woman, this is really you recognizing and understanding that, right? For so long, there has been periods of doubt, self-doubt, self-sabotage, unintentionally, anger, bitterness, because every step forward seemed like a step backwards or 10 step backwards. But the more you read, and I know this is going to sound weird, but the more you read yourself, the more you look at yourself from different perspectives, the more you try to envision yourself outside of your body and look at yourself and see who you truly are, you obtain the knowledge that allows you to grow, that allows you to ascend, that allows you to go through this transformation, that allows you to find the balance and stability you need in this time, and also the protection that you need in this time to plan for whatever it is that you could be planning for in the future. All right, let us see. I don't remember. I think it was this. I don't remember. All right, here we go. So we have empowerment. There you go. So the thinking woman is pretty much the empowered one. It's almost like there's this energy of relearning about yourself. Does that make sense? This isn't about outside education. This is about you learning who you are. This is about you empowering you, right? This isn't like going to school to be a nurse or a doctor. This isn't about going to school to, picking up where you left off. This is about your empowerment. This is about empowering yourself to plant the seeds and to create a life of bounty and a life of dreams and a life of desires and all of that coming to fruition. So let us see what I love this. So remember we talked about the whole learning from life experiences, the transformation, the ascension, the growth, learning from the experiences of life. And that's what this card is. It's having the balance and the knowledge that you have lived a life. And there are things that have come from this life that you have the ability to really learn from and really put that into your education as you go through this transformation, as you ascend, as you start to grow into who you've always desired to be. Because I think sometimes because of life and the environments that we live in, we get told so very often that we are what this other person or these other people throughout your life have told you are. So as we grow into adulthood, it becomes that it's like gum on the bottom of the shoe. No matter how hard you try to scrape it off or how hard you try to change the perspective of who you are or the perspective of who these other people perceived you to be, or put that, what's the word? Put that stamp on you, right? There's never a breakthrough through that, right? So there's this educating oneself about oneself in order to break through the labels that other people have put on you, and you becoming who you desire to be, not whom other people have said you were or what you would be. So there's this give into your passion. I'm going to use Elvis Presley, for example. When he was in school, his teacher told him, don't quit your day job. You'll never be a singer. Elvis Presley, for Christ's sake. You'll never be a singer. You'll never be a performer. Nothing, it'll never happen. And it has been all of these years later. I mean, he just celebrated, we just celebrated his 92nd, I think, birthday, and he is still being celebrated as one of the greatest performers that ever lived. So even though somebody says this, that, and the third about you, they don't know you. They don't know who you are, and they don't know what the fuck you're capable of. So don't let those little seeds take root inside of your soul. That's what I'm saying. That's the fucking deal. So we have 143, preparation. Life is filled with phases. The whisper is telling you to prepare for the unexpected and allow change to pass through with a sense of peace. Financial and creative changes are upon you now. My dreams and desires are coming to fruition, bringing change that I welcome with an open heart and mind. Know that you are divinely guided and loved. Bye. All right, number 3. This is the one I've chose. I have no idea what it is. This is what the fuck's going on. Let's see. Throne, a position of authority. It's never worked out for me yet. Okay, if you know, you know. So this kind of makes me feel that some of you may be getting raises, some of you may be getting promotions, some of you may be starting your own businesses, and that puts you in a position of authority. And when someone is being put in a position of authority, it can go one of two ways. It can go beautiful, and you could be this, this really true, genuine person who doesn't allow that position of authority to go to their head, or you could be the type of person that allows that authority to go to your head, and then everybody hates you, and your business goes to shit. So, but anyways, or maybe not, or maybe the people that you're around love being, love you in the position of authority and need a very strong. And but then again, people who say that they want that tend to rebel against that, don't they? People go, yes, we need a strong leader. We need someone who is in a position of authority who will take out the trash and who will clean this place up and who will do this, that, and the third. And the moment that shit starts to happen, people going, yeah, but wait a minute, we didn't mean. Well, what did you mean? Because that's exactly what the fuck you said. So being in this position of authority, people are either going to love you or hate you or love you. You know what I'm saying? So if you are getting this raise or promotion or starting your own business or being put in this position of authority, just remember, there's just one thing that you need to remember, that you'll never be able to make everybody happy. That you'll never make everybody, regardless of what you do and how you do it and what you say and how you say it and the changes that you make, there will always be someone who will be unpleased with you being put in the position that you're in. So just remember that. All right, let us see what the fuck the deal is. See? I told you. So someone already doesn't like you being in a position of authority. Someone's already starting chaos and drama and BS. I chose this card. I'm not in a position of authority. I'm this meek, feeble little woman who has nothing yet. I'm working on it though. But there's issues already starting, right? People hear the whispers around the cooler. So-and-so is being put in a position of authority. What do you think about that? Well, I remember that one time back in 1902 when she made a joke on the internet and then someone trolled her to find that joke and put it out there and turned everybody against her. No shit, that really happened to me once. If you know, you know. So somebody is already not liking the idea of you being put in this position of authority, already causing drama, and you haven't even done anything yet. You see what I'm saying? So make sure you're thick-skinned. Make sure you're thick-skinned, because there will be people who will attempt to drag you through the mud, drag your name through the mud, tear you down, make what you are doing look like you don't know what you're doing. So congratulations on the raise. Congratulations on the, oh, look at that. Oh. Okay. So this is what I want to say about the 10 of Wands. First of all, I gotta say this about the 10 of Wands. The 10 of Wands represents you carrying around a lot of bullshit. That's not your responsibility to carry it around, so let it the fuck go. And that's the fucking deal. Let it go. Who cares what people think? Who cares what people say? Who cares what they feel and how they fucking think about you being put in this position of authority? Because you know why people are mad when people are put in positions of authority? Because they feel that they should have the position, but they didn't want to go through everything they needed to go through to be put in that position. So that's why they're pissed, right? They didn't have the drive. They didn't have the power. What's that? I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to sing it. But anyway, they didn't have the drive. They didn't have the power. They didn't have the determination. They didn't have the wherewithal. They didn't have the grit. They didn't have the passion that you do or you did. So now they want to see you fail. But you're holding on to all of this shit that they're saying. Who cares if they like you? Who cares if they don't like you? Who cares if they're pissed about you being in this position? Who cares if they're whispering about you around the water cooler? Walk taller then. Give them a glass. Shit. And so that 10 of Wands is about you just dropping all of that nonsense. It's not yours to carry, because you're not the one pissed about being in a position of authority. So you don't have to carry that burden. Drop it at the door. So the Justice card is about things working out in your favor, those karmic scales being balanced, a beautiful foundation, the connection with spirit, having blind faith that you have people on your side. You have people on your side. Maybe this position of authority has you working some way with the law, has you working some way with judges, lawyers, police officers, etc., etc. And it's causing a little bit of chaos and a little bit of drama. I don't know if it's for you or for other people, but being put in a position of authority that has the ability to change people's lives in one way or another, it's a pretty tight position. So the Fool is a new opportunity, right? The Fool is the beginning of the journey, right? There's a beginning of a journey here. It's the Jesus take the wheel. Right? I'm ready to do it. I'm no longer standing on the sidelines watching everyone else do their thing. I am ready to succeed. I am ready to strive. I am ready to do what I have to do to create this this success in my life. I'm no longer, because it's a 10, we're transitioning. I'm no longer carrying the burdens. I no longer care what other people think. I'm stepping into my passion. I'm stepping into my independence. I'm stepping into my strength, my courage, and my fire, and my growth. I'm stepping into this because this is what I want, and this is what I need, and this is what I've been striving for. And I put myself on hold way too fucking long for other people, and I'm not doing it again. It wouldn't surprise me if you had ample opportunities in the past, and other people have expressed to you how they felt about that, and you gave up those opportunities because you didn't want to offend anyone, right? So you're walking on eggshells and trying not to offend anybody and rejecting opportunities that had the potential to change your fucking life, but not anymore, because now we're being put in the position of authority, and those people can kiss our ass, and that is what the fuck the deal is. So you have a potential for travel here, stepping into your power and being at fucking peace with it, being at peace with stepping into your power, being at peace, no longer emptying your cup for other people, being at peace for being in this position of authority. And Spirit says it's for your own well-being anyway. Because how do dreams come true, right? Do dreams come true for people who think they're not worthy of those dreams? Do dreams come true for people who say, I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, I am not, I don't deserve it, blah, blah, blah. Do dreams come true for people like that? No. So Spirit wants you to know that for your well-being, Spirit, it's like Spirit is pulling back the curtain, right? This was you before, this is you after. Let's look at the Wizard of Oz, right? so Dorothy goes through all of this thinking that she's going to get to the land of Oz and see some major significant badass. When she pulls back the curtain, it's this little midgety man standing on a podium pulling levers, right? And this little person, this little midgety man behind the curtain, wanted everybody to believe that they were in charge of everybody's life. Everybody's life. You are in charge of your life. You are in charge of creating this scenario and what you do with it. This is for your own well-being. This is for you to recognize and understand that you are in a position of authority and power to make your dreams come true, right? And these karmic scales, they're about to be balanced, and you get the opportunity for a fucking fresh start. And how amazing is that? How amazing is that? So here we go. I chose this deck. I chose this pile. All right. Ooh, that one flew across the room. Let's plant some seeds, please. Affirmation for growth. Thank you very much. We're planting seeds. The cat can help plant them, but the cat cannot help fertilize them. And then we have go with the flow, babe. Go with the flow. Don't resist. Don't fight it. This is yours. It's meant to be yours. It's always meant to be yours. It was always meant to be yours. It is yours. It's always meant to be yours. It will be yours because your progress is recognized and alignment is here. It is within your reach. The whisper is reminding you to stay the course and feel source working through you. Your gifts are being recognized. I blossom and bloom as I use my gifts. All things simply align as I feel the feeling of the divine. Well, there it is. And there you have it. So, if you chose the third pile like I did, or the third card like I did, this is our reading. Your life is about to significantly change, and it's going to whirl up some shit. But who the fuck cares? Because at the end of the day, success is yours. At the end of the day, your dreams are coming true. At the end of the day, regardless how anybody feels about it, just allow yourself to align with growth and go with the flow and fuck the rest. Know that you're divinely guided and loved.